Welcome to our deep dive into the history of immigration in the United States. From the first colonists to the waves of arrivals in the 19th and 20th centuries, immigration is central to the American story. We'll explore key dates, legislation, and court decisions that have shaped immigration policy throughout U.S. history. Our story begins with the arrival of European colonists, who embarked on perilous journeys across the Atlantic Ocean. In the 15th and 16th centuries, these explorers and settlers braved unknown territories, driven by the promise of new lands and riches. These early arrivals, primarily from England, Spain, and France, sought new opportunities and fled persecution. They established the first European settlements, laying the groundwork for future colonies. It's crucial to acknowledge that these newcomers arrived in a land already inhabited by diverse indigenous peoples, who had their own rich cultures and societies. The interactions between European colonists and Native Americans were complex, often marked by conflict and displacement. These encounters significantly impacted the lives of indigenous communities. By the time the United States declared independence in 1776, immigration was already shaping the nation's identity. The influx of diverse groups contributed to the cultural and social fabric of early America. Fast forward to the early 20th century, a period of massive industrialization and global upheaval. The United States was transforming rapidly, with cities expanding and factories multiplying. The U.S. saw an unprecedented wave of immigration, with millions seeking new opportunities and a better life, primarily from Southern and Eastern Europe. These new arrivals brought diverse cultures, languages, and traditions. This surge sparked social anxieties and nativist sentiments, as many Americans feared the changes these immigrants might bring, leading to the Immigration Act of 1924. This legislation was a response to the growing pressure to control the influx of immigrants. The act established a quota system, which aimed to restrict the number of immigrants allowed into the country, limiting immigrants based on their existing population in the U.S. This meant that countries with larger populations already in the U.S. could send more immigrants. It heavily favored immigrants from Northern and Western Europe, who were seen as more desirable, reflecting the prejudices of the time. This bias was evident in the way the quotas were allocated. The 1924 Act dramatically reduced immigration for decades and shifted U.S. demographics, leaving a lasting impact on the nation's cultural landscape. The mid-20th century saw significant shifts in American society, including the Civil Rights Movement. These changes influenced the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which abolished the discriminatory quota system. It prioritized family reunification and attracting skilled workers, regardless of national origin. This act led to a dramatic shift in the origins of immigrants, transforming the U.S.'s social and cultural landscape. The 1965 Act stands as a testament to the power of social movements to effect change. Global conflicts and crises in the late 20th century led to a growing number of refugees seeking asylum. Wars, political upheavals, and human rights abuses forced millions to flee their homes in search of safety and a better future. In response to this growing humanitarian crisis, the U.S. passed the Refugee Act of 1980. This landmark legislation created a comprehensive system for resettling refugees, ensuring they received the protection and support they needed. The act established a clear and fair process for granting asylum to individuals facing persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. This was a significant step in upholding human rights. Since its enactment, the Refugee Act has allowed hundreds of thousands of refugees to rebuild their lives in safety. These individuals have contributed to the rich tapestry of American society, bringing diverse cultures and perspectives. Despite numerous challenges and evolving global situations, the Refugee Act remains a cornerstone of U.S. humanitarian efforts. It continues to provide a lifeline for those in desperate need, reflecting America's commitment to compassion and justice. Today, immigration remains a complex and debated issue in the United States. The country grapples with questions of border security, undocumented immigration, and economic impact. Different administrations have taken vastly different approaches, from increased border security to attempts at comprehensive reform. The issue of undocumented immigration sparks intense division, with debates over pathways to citizenship and stricter enforcement. Understanding its history is essential for informed and nuanced debate. The story of how America became a country of immigrants is complex and multifaceted. Immigration has been central to shaping the nation's identity, culture, and economy. Understanding this history is crucial for engaging in informed discussions about immigration today. Stay curious, keep learning, and let's continue to grapple with the complexities of immigration together.